Hey guys, happy NFP Day. I took a couple of trades this morning and I just wanted to highlight them and go over exactly why I took them, how I took them. I have a couple of different methods that I use to trade NFP or FOMC. So I wanted to go over those quickly. This chart's irrelevant right now, but the first trade I want to highlight is the NQ trade that I took at at the NFP announcement today. So what I had done was I had created a couple of points of interest for myself, some areas that I figured if they broke, then they would run, and I would go for a quick scalp to the next level. So this is what I was looking at prior. This is what I had outlined before market open and before the NFP announcement. Okay, so this is what I had as my predetermined break and entry points. And I'm just going to go ahead and change the coloring of the two limit orders that I had set, or stop limit orders that I had set. Now what that means is, if you take a look on a lower time frame chart, so this is where the market was just before that 8:30 announcement. You can see that this was the announcement. This was the news announcement. So what I had done was, at these two levels, I had created a bit of a trap. So if price were to blow through this level here, go to the upside, then as price moved through, my trade would execute in a long position, and I would be filled to the upside. Likewise, if price had spiked down and broken this resistance or this support level here, then my trade would have executed to the short side, giving me a short position. And this also, if one of these gets triggered, this would also act as a stop loss. So as soon as this one gets triggered, then I can pull this up, which is what I did. But so each were set with the same amount of contracts, so that's 4 contracts on either side. And what I did was, as price broke through here, go down to a smaller time frame chart. As price broke through here, you can see that on that, I'll even do a 1-minute chart so that you can get the full visibility. So there was no drawdown, right? So price broke through here, my trade executed, and it was just off to the races. And look where it stopped immediately, right? That's where I took profit. That was right at the next resistance level that I had. So obviously price spiked back just a little bit, but that was right where I had intended to run it to. I didn't want to get greedy. I didn't want to try and pull any more out of it. That's where I thought it was going to go. That's where I anticipated it stopping, and that's exactly where it hit its initial resistance. So that's what I did, was I entered here as price broke through. I trailed my stop loss up to just under break even. Price shot up. I trailed my stop loss up again. I don't exactly remember. I think it was in profit, but under, but just barely. So now I have my stop loss in profit, and I'm running price all the way up here. Now that trade was my first one. So that was this trade here. That was you can see that I took a picture right where I took profit. That was an $1,120 trade. Not a bad way to start off NFP. And then I took a trade on TF. So here we have a 15-minute chart, and this is the markup that I had going into it. So this was the initial spike right here, and then price came back down. And I'm going to highlight my entry. highlight my entry for you and why I took it. So that's where I got in. And you can see that from the initial spike up, I had from the initial spike up on the NFP announcement, I had a 78.6 retracement that fell right at previous resistance and the cross of a trend line. So I knew that if price retraced all the way back down here, then I wanted to get in a long position, which I did. So I grabbed my entry right at 1241.40. So 1241.40. So not a perfect entry, but it caught it as price bounced off. It was moving really fast. And then I wasn't intending to take it all the way back up here, as you see that I could have, but I took it right up until this resistance point right here. So this resistance level, that's where I ran price up to. So that was a quick trade there. That was just over $2,000. Quick moves on that one. And now I want to go into a dollar-yen trade that I had taken. Let's get rid of this. So here is here's what I was looking at beforehand, and I was in this trade for a while. I've been in this trade since this level right here, this 104.20 level, pretty much. But I had a stop loss that was just in break even prior to the NFP announcement this morning. So what was I looking at here? Why did I enter this trade? Let's get out of all of these drawings. So when I did get into this trade, what I was looking for, and the reason that I entered, was I had a supply zone that had been previously created, and I also had a resistance line. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I drew that wrong. So it was a demand zone that turned into a supply zone. It went back. It was just created here. And if I draw that over, so here is my demand zone turned supply zone once it was broken. And then from there, I had an additional resistance level right at the start of the big spike down. So on a 4-hour time frame, what I'm looking for is prices initially testing the supply zone here. And it gives a little bit of weakness, but it spikes into it. And you can see that strong wick down. Now, I didn't get in on this wick. I got in here when price spiked back up almost to the exact same level, right to that 104.10 to 20 area. And let's see what my entry was. I don't think it was perfect. I think I had a little bit of drawdown, 104.057, so it wasn't perfect. But if we go down to a 15-minute chart, you can see that my entry was just about 057. So it was just about here. So once I saw the rejection off of that level, that's when I got in. So price came back down, and initially I had pulled my stop. My stop was up here above the top of the supply zone when I entered, and then as price moved in my favor, I pulled my stop down to just behind break even, and then from there, as price continued down, I continued to bring price down. You can see that it came back up and tested that supply zone perfectly and then fell. And I took my profit somewhere around here. I don't quite remember where it was. I could have held for longer. I got out early, but that didn't matter to me. I was happy with the profit. It was NFP day. I wasn't going to mess around today. So that's why I took those 3 trades. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. I just wanted to do a quick recap for you all and cover exactly why I took these trades.